Good morning, everybody. It is Vlogmas 23, and I am checking out the park this morning. See what's going on out there and getting ready. So, of course, I'm watching Monarch of the Glen, putting my makeup on, getting the day going. And I have to mix up some food for the chickens, get that all ready. And it is time for breakfast. I am making a frittata in the air fryer. And I have ham and some vegetables in there. I'm topping it with some lower fat cheese. Then I'm going to cut it down so it'll fit in here. And last time I made this, I learned I need to cook this for about 21 minutes. Now this time, and I'm going to take it down to 350. This time I kept checking it, and it looked like it was done on the outside, but it still needed some more time. So I had like 4 minutes. Then I went another 4 minutes before it was completely done. So about 30 minutes later, here it is. And a piece of sourdough toast. After breakfast, I took a half an hour walk on the treadmill and got some movement in, and then I sat in the massage chair for about 20 minutes. So today we got a lot of wrapping done for the kids and for each other, getting that all together. And we took the kids to a Greek restaurant for some dinner and came home, and Honey made me a coffee. Hi guys, it is the end of the day, and I'm afraid I didn't pick the camera up too much. Earlier, Honey and I wrapped for the kids, and we were listening to a radio broadcast of Miracle on 34th Street, I think, and it was like one of those really old-time radio shows, and I think he found it on YouTube. I'm not sure, but it was really neat, and I found my imagination really, I remember seeing part of the movie. I don't think I ever saw the whole movie the whole way through, but in my mind, I could remember certain scenes, and so I could like picture while I was listening to it, and it was really enjoyable. I had forgotten how much we really enjoyed those old radio programs when we were first married and we were sent overseas. We didn't really have television. I think when we finally did get a TV, the only station we could get locally was like watching it. We were in Spain, so it was like watching Dallas in Spanish. And it kind of loses something over the translation. So that didn't work. And so that's so funny. So anyway, what I was going to tell you was what we used to do was we had radio, right? We could get the radio station from the base. And so that was the only station that broadcasted English speaking anything. And so we would keep that on. And for some reason, they had really old radio broadcasts that they would play. Now this is like back in the 80s, right? Like mid 80s. And so we would listen to The Life of Riley. Then there was, what was his name? Drew Barrymore's grandfather, Lionel Barrymore, I guess. He was in some sort of a radio show as well. And we used to listen to these things, and it's all we had. So we just like soaked it in, and it really it really uses your imagination to fill in, what you're looking at and what you're listening to. So that was really neat. Okay, so I had to tell you about this funny little story. My husband and I were first married. He was in the Air Force, and we were sent overseas. So we were sent to Spain first. We were there for 3 years, and we were pretty young, 19 and 20. And so when you're far away, you're sent somewhere far away and you're really young, you go through a bit of a culture shock, especially when they don't speak your language, and you really, really, really start missing home. And we really missed anything that reminded us of home we wanted. We really missed home. And so it was Christmas time. And so we both grew up as, watching Frosty the Snowman and Charlie Brown Christmas and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, all of that stuff. We were so used to seeing those at Christmas time. And we just wanted to see one. We just wanted to see something like that gave us some sort of comfort, right, from home. And so we got this idea. Now, mind you, we didn't have the extra money to spare at the time, but we got this idea that, well, let's check into billeting on base, which is like the hotel for, people coming through, just coming there, arriving there, or traveling, whatever, in the Air Force. And we said, let's check into billeting, and then that way we could watch the television station that they're broadcasting on the base, and then we'll be able to watch some Christmas shows, right? And so I thought, oh yeah, it sounds like a great plan. And so we did. So we were checking in, and we didn't even think about this, but at the time, for some reason, they thought I was a Spanish woman that my husband, the GI, had picked up, and he was taking to billeting on base, right? And so they were looking at us really funny, and we didn't get it. And my husband told him, he said, no, we just want a room to watch Christmas shows. We just want to watch the Christmas shows. And they just did not believe, they thought he was pulling their leg. They were like, who does this? Who checks into a hotel just to watch, Santa Claus coming to town or whatever it is? And they didn't believe it. I don't know. They had some wild ideas, I guess, but that's all we wanted. And I think that we saw some kind of movie, but it wasn't like a real interesting Christmas show. It was a bit of a dud, and we ended up leaving, right, and going home because we had a home nearby, an apartment. So but it didn't really, weren't able to watch anything, and so, but it was just so weird how they didn't really understand that's all we wanted to do was just watch a Christmas show. But anyway, we missed our parents and everything. We had a really lovely Christmas. We bought a tree. I remember doing all the first things together, right? And that was the time my husband had surprised me. He got me a wonderful gift. He found a man who was a painter in Madrid, and he painted he gave him our wedding picture, and he painted a realistic portrait, oil painting, and it does look just like a photograph, but it's me and him standing there, and he surprised me with it on Christmas morning, and he's always been the most generous man. But anyway, if I could, I'll find a picture, I'll take a picture of it so that you can see it. So anyway, that's the first Christmas that we had together. It was really nice and very quiet. So thanks for sitting and going down memory lane with me for just a few minutes. I'm going to let you go. This is Vlogmas Day 23, and we'll see you on Christmas Eve tomorrow. Hope you had a wonderful day. Bye.